Don't you morons get it? If you think your government-sponsored brutality intimidates me, you clearly don't know anything about Dragovich. I have nothing to gain by talking to you.
Think about what you have to lose.
We can do this all day. We got plenty of windows.
Or you can give us what we want and we guarantee your safety.
I'm already a dead man. I've been hunted across every corner of the globe. And if you found me, so will they. They know everything you know. They're probably on their way now.
Why?
Dragovich doesn't like loose ends. I've never even dealt with him directly. Only Steiner, the German.
What was the nature of your business?
I was hired to help stabilize certain volatile compounds.
What kind of compound?
Nova 6. A biochemical weapon.
You let them right through me! Get your head down! What's your escape route? There's a hatch in the ceiling! This way!
Alright, and welcome back to Black Ops. I didn't want to talk over that section because, and I don't really want to talk over this section because there's a little bit of information that's still conveyed. This is actually one of the cooler levels in the game. It's Kowloon, and it's basically an extended chase sequence with a lot of little set pieces in it. I'm going to be doing this in, well, it's called the Hard-Boiled achievement, but I just call it John Woo mode because, well, he directed Hard-Boiled. But you have to do it with nothing but dual-wield weapons throughout the level. And there's opportunities to pick up more, but you start off with these dual CZ 75s, which are actually pretty good, and they have extended mags on them, which you'll never see in multiplayer or anywhere else in the game. And I don't really mind it too much, but I died about a dozen times in one section alone. So it's a little difficult, but it's filled with little jumps like this and cool little sections, and it's really one of my favorite levels in terms of design. In terms of frustration, it's also one of my favorite levels because it can get frustrating if you try to do the hard-boiled achievement. But we're meeting Dr. Clark, who's been working on one of the major plot elements in the game, which is Nova 6, a biochemical agent, and we saw it work on the Spetsnaz that came in after us at the start there. And we'll kind of be watching Nova 6 for the rest of the game. It's pretty much the major plot point in the game, and you know, we can't really escape it because of that. Well, these guys are dumb. So one of the things about this level is that you have to watch every corner because there's going to be somebody in it. It's a cramped level, and it's kind of cool because of that. If you do this with non-dual wield weapons, it's much easier, but it's still a little difficult in some sections because if you don't know to expect this guy in a corner or that guy in a corner, you'll get knocked out. And you know we're fighting Russians again because they're rolling all over the place like a friggin' tumbler troop. And there's not a lot to say about this level outside of that and the frustration of doing John Woo mode. But, you know, overall, I actually had kind of a little fun doing this level. I had to do it twice, and I don't know if I'm going too far into Let's Play secrets now, but the first time through, that interrogation sequence with Clark, which has got to be the first time you get to break Geneva Conventions in a video game by hitting the right trigger and left trigger, the sound didn't record correctly, so I knew it was probably a botch setting, and because in this section here, which I so smoothly transitioned out of, I glitched into a wall a little later on in this section. And I've never done it before, and I wasn't able to replicate it when I tried this time through. But I wasn't able to get out, and I actually put a bonus video of that up. But this section is actually where I died at least a dozen times between both attempts on this level, because it is very difficult. to get through this, because most of these guys are at a distance. They're at such a distance that your pistols and your submachine guns that you're going to pick up can't really hit them very well. And as good as you are, the guy just fell from the ceiling there. As good as you are at dealing with multiple people with these guns, it's difficult to actually hit people at a distance, especially multiple people. So usually I can get about here with regularity doing this section, and then I get shot to shit because I can't hit anyone beyond 20 feet. One of the strategies for this section is to lie down and do your shots, because your aiming reticle will diminish greatly, and you'll just be able to kind of pinpoint shots pretty easily. But I almost died there. Forgot about that. That was really dumb on my part to do that, and I didn't even kill that guy, so it was completely pointless. But you'll see, if you take time and wait for your shots to line up, you'll be able to hit people much easier. It's not to say that it works with any regularity, especially if you have a bunch of people at a distance, like I said. But sometimes, like here, it's best to just run through and hope for the best outcomes. And in this section, I think it's a pretty cool little alleyway, but the guy behind me, who was in one of the windows back in the other section, can actually see me and shoot me from here. And I'm getting shot by him now. I died to him once in the previous attempt at this level, and I got really frustrated with it. And that was the time right before I glitched through the window, because it took me about 8 attempts to get through that section before, and after that I was just unimpressed. I almost didn't continue. I almost turned the game off or decided not to do the John Woo mode. But once you get through that section, the rest of the level isn't too bad. There's some parts of it that are, and if you don't follow certain paths, you'll get fucked. But overall, it's not too bad. Now, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I don't understand why Hudson and Weaver decided to give Clark a weapon after they just punched him in the mouth when he had glass in his mouth. And were going to torture him for hours, it seems like. But he's going to follow us for the rest of this level and, provide us with weapon caches and information. And I'm actually talking over that information right now. Oh, check it out, doves. I don't know why I switched weapons here, but I did. But he's talking about the numbers that have been kind of normal in our interrogation sequences with Mason.
To steal what's left of my research. Well, no, thank you, Dragovich. I can clean up my own mess. Either of you too low on ammo? We still have a ways to go.
Alright, so the numbers that we're talking about when we're in the interrogation sequences with Mason are the numbers Clark tries to mention here, but he doesn't get too far into it. This kind of gives away a lot of the plot, by the way. If you've not played this game, you probably figured out what's going on with that interrogation sequence by now because of the numbers thread. So I'm going to let it go. But overall, this section here, if you follow Clark and Weaver on the right, you will get ass fucked by this building and the building that I'm on now and the building straight in front of you if you were over with them. And I actually tried it a couple different ways. But you can see they're trying to shoot the guy in that window. I threw a grenade in there and it just disappears. I don't know what happened there. But what you have to do is kind of work your way down to them from up there, or you're going to get shot from too many angles to deal with. But this is one of those things about the game where you have to kind of stay in the path that works best for the game, or you get kind of killed. And in this section coming up, you can get killed by what's coming up next with no warning. So if you don't know what's coming, you'll get shot to shit. But I do, because I died to it once before this, which is why we had that transition. Just open fire. So you also seem to have sleight of hand for this level on both your guns, which is kind of cool too, because if you're dual wielding, that's going to be a problem for you. But, okay, that guy's there, but there's another guy. You have no way of knowing that. This is one of those sections of the game where it does that to you. And also try stabbing the TVs, because that was an element in other games from the series. But, I mean, overall, after you've passed that really frustrating section, there's not a lot to say about the game. like I said, this is one of the cooler designed levels, like going across the rooftops and all that stuff. It reminds me of the Flovella mission from, or the second end of the Flovella mission from Modern Warfare 2, where you're going across the rooftops trying to get to a helicopter. But it feels much more realized than that was, you know. But that's me. And we're kind of getting towards the end if you look at the timer and everything. This video was actually originally 30 minutes long, and I cut it down to something like 16 or 20 minutes, which is, it speaks to how long it took to do this. And it's difficult to get through the section with just pistols. A lot of people in the thread actually suggest, or one person in the thread, suggested doing it on the easiest difficulty, Rookie, which would have been a lot easier. Oh, and there's CZ full autos there. Don't use those. Those suck on this level. They're about as inaccurate as your Caparis, and it makes it hard to hit targets at a distance. I died in this section too, so I died at least 3 times in this level, but it was closer to like 2 dozen. And this section's not too hard, but if you do what I did the first time, which is stand right in the middle and hope for the best and hang out with Weaver for half of it, you'll die pretty quickly. You need to get in this spot here or on the other side on the right, and kind of let Weaver clean out the middle, and you can step in and fire when you need to. Weaver will distract a lot of these guys if you get in cover, so it works out pretty well. I also, in this section, started firing only one gun at a time because you'll kill them just as fast, and that seems to work really well too. Alright, so we have one more pretty cool section to go through. It's the rooftop chase again, but, well, here.
I'm slipping! I got you! What about the numbers, Clark? Oh, yes! What is it? The numbers! They're the key to... Volta! There's Doc. Fuck! Let's go!
Now, I don't know if you saw it, and I forgot this happened, but Weaver just took a shot to the face there during that cinematic. And you can kind of see, you saw the blood stain and everything pop up. So you can die here, and there's very little cover. So what you have to do is get to the angles where they can't hit you too easily and make the jumps. And my first time through this, I definitely died, and I mean when I first played this game. I died on the jumping section because I was hit like once or twice, and then I had to jump just about to the limit of where the game will accept. I think it was right there, actually. I got hit like 2 or 3 times, and then I tried to jump with that damage done to me. If you don't know that's coming, it's kind of a dick, but it starts you right where Clark died, so it's not too bad. But this section, I always think I'm going to lose my John Woo achievement, because you're forced to pick up just 1 CZ. But that's pretty much the end of the level. I know I made a big deal about it in the thread of how annoying it is, but I actually enjoy this level when I'm not doing the John Woo achievement and I don't glitch into a wall halfway through my first video. So we'll see you guys next time, and I hope you're ready for some flashbacks within a flashback.
We're going to Russia. Mount Yamantau.
We know that Jason Hudson briefed you on the intel extracted from Dr. Clark at Kowloon.
Hudson said that Clark was insane. Paranoid. Fixated with numbers.
Clark created Nova 6, a nerve toxin that can rupture a body in seconds.
Dragovich's second in command, Kravchenko, tests it in Vietnam. On them? On us? On his own? He doesn't care. Reznov told me at Vorkuta.
What did he tell you?
Mason, listen to me.
It was a long time ago. Far away.
Dragovich, Steiner, Kravchenko, all must die.
But he told me what they did. what kind of men they were. Why they all must die.